A proposed rule that's been dormant for nearly 6 years is now getting new life. USDA says it's sending the final rule changes to the Grain Inspection Packers and Stockyards Act, or GIPSA, to the White House. And it's sparking strong opposition from major livestock groups. The exact language of the final rule is unknown, expected to be released in the next few weeks. GIPSA was part of the 2008 Farm Bill, designed to implement provisions for buying and selling livestock and poultry. But livestock groups argue the 2010 proposal went well beyond Farm Bill mandates, costing the livestock industry money. The U.S. pork industry putting an annual $330 million price tag on the rule.
The way we contract hogs to a packer had some ramifications there, the length of time and so on and so forth. But then even at the producer level, if you hire someone to finish your pigs and you have a contract with that finisher, the provisions that you have to allow in that contract, in our industry, in the pork industry, we have not had a history of problems with that.
But USDA argues the changes do address some of these concerns.
Vilsack said USDA is considering leaving out several provisions that were contained in the GIPSA rule proposed in 2010 that many in the beef and pork industries found objectionable.
Now, there's still objections specifically within the beef industry. The North American Meat Institute warning the interim final rule will open a floodgate of litigation for marketing cattle, pork, and poultry in the U.S. Both the Meat Institute and National Cattlemen's Beef Association say Congress defunded GIPSA 6 years ago for a reason, as it limits producers' marketing options, adding layers of bureaucracy. In Florida, cattle producers are facing a parasite they haven't seen in 3 decades. The state's ag commissioner says the New World screwworm has shown up, the fly larvae that can infest livestock and other warm-blooded animals, usually through open wounds. So far, it's limited to the Florida Keys. If you're a stocker for beef cattle, you need to manage parasites that may be entering to the pasture. During a recent beef stocker field day hosted by Kansas State University, an Oklahoma State University entomologist said external pests like flies can take pounds off livestock as the cattle diverts energy to fight off parasites instead of adding weight.
Our biggest impact are horn flies. When you look at them, because they're how long the season is for horn flies. And then there's the small flies on the backs of the animal. They can reach up to 1,000 per animal if they go untreated.
Tally recommends treating the animal, but be careful of creating resistance in the flies. As far as other parasites, Tally says stockers should have a 90-day window without livestock on a pasture so the land can be treated, such as burn down.